Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's nice to see you all here, and we've got to be thankful that we're here because it's been 19 months, ladies and gentlemen. I want to introduce our next guest. My name's John Kirk, and what can I say about Charles Martinet other than he is joy incarnate? This man can bring a smile to anybody. So I hope that he brings lots of smiles to you, and you can reciprocate by please putting your hands together and let us welcome the one, the only, Charles Martinet.
First, let me say, hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! Mamma mia! To all of my friends in Toronto, you're number one. Woohoo! And Luigi too. Luigi number one. Luigi number one. Ho ho. And Wario, have a rotten day. Yahoo! Oh wait, I forgot. Mommy said say something nice. And Waluigi, everybody cheat but me. And baby Luigi. And baby Mario. Let's go. Woohoo! Hello. So great to see you. I hope you're all comfortable in your chairs. These are the new cement variety. It's a lovely new model.
Well,
Hi, so happy to be here.
Well, you can see we spared no expense.
Yes. Yes, you know, I have to say I'm always extremely grateful to Nintendo for giving me the opportunity to play these characters. It's been 30 years now of absolute happiness and joy and fun. And of course, you know, thank you very much to the con here in Toronto, FanExpo, for inviting me to bringing me to Canada. Just spent like the week in Niagara Falls and hanging around and just enjoying this beautiful country. And most of all, thank you all to all of you. Your love of the game, your joy, your sense of fun and adventure is what gives me the tremendous privilege to come and say hi and be here. So thank you so much for playing my games. Thank you.
And like I said, I mean, you literally brighten up any room that you are in. Every time I've ever seen you,
Thank you.
You have this radiated joy.
Thank you.
So but I have to ask you this question if I could.
Sure.
You went to Harvard, didn't you?
Harvard?
Harvard University, and
In fact, I was there just a few weeks ago for the first time.
Good.
I went to the bookstore with my other half, my better half, and I went to the bookstore and we bought refrigerator magnets. So yes, I have been to Harvard. I went to UC Berkeley, though, for schooling. I went to UC Berkeley, and when I couldn't get the professor I wanted to write my thesis with and everything, I did what most mature men would do. I quit. I just walked out the door and I said, well, I'll go back when I can get the classes that I want. And I never went back because this wonderful man named Les Abbott, who was Adrian Barbeau's coach and worked in the business for decades, said, come and take an acting class from me. And I said, Les, there is no way I could ever be an actor. I could never stand in front of people. I'd be shaking like a leaf. He goes, that's all right. Come and have lunch with me. We'll have it. They're making new Michelin-starred chefs at the cafeteria, and you'll do the class. And if you don't want to do the monologues, you don't have to. I said, lunch? I could have lunch? You mean every day? Oh, yes, we'll have lunch every day. Okay, I'll go. And that wonderful bit of deception is what happened to me. And so I said, well, okay. And I went and we learned our little monologues. And I sat there in that class thinking, uh-oh, what if this was all le grand déception? And he's going to call on me. And sure enough, I started shrinking to hide behind the chair. And he said, well, Charles, you're up. And I got up there to do my monologue. And I was literally shaking like this. My hands were like this. And my feet were shaking. And I stood there and I started this monologue. My name is Joe. I died a terrible death in a fire. And I'm sure that what people were hearing, I was sure at the time, was, I was so petrified, and my right foot was shaking like a leaf. And I said, I heard this voice from inside me, which I've heard many times before and since. Put your weight on your right foot. And I put my weight on my right foot and continued my monologue. And my left leg started shaking like this. And I heard, put your weight evenly between the 2 feet. And so I tried to do that, and then they were both shaking like this. And I got to the end of the monologue, and the class went, the obligatory applause. Comments, yes, how is it that you're the only person who wasn't nervous? What? And so that made me think, well, maybe it's like acting. Maybe it's pretend. And I went and I started doing classes and monologues, and I became an actor because of my wonderful failure to get Oberon in the school play of Midsummer Night's Dream. I auditioned. You watch everybody else audition. I watched everyone. I knew that I was the best, and I called Les, and I said, Les, I think I got it. I think I was really good. He said, well, Charles, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I'm like, no. I'm sure I was really, really good. I was bad. And for sure, I walked up the next day to the casting list, dun, 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 dun. Charles Martinet as not Oberon, how about one of the, no, how about set changer? Absolutely nothing. And that failure is why I'm an actor. So I encourage everyone to fail as much as you possibly can, doing something that you are interested and want to do, because really, it's what it's all about. You fail and you get up, and you fail and you get up, and eventually you're getting up without having to fail. And it's what's happened to me, because I then studied like crazy, and I went to speech classes and speech therapy and speech presentations. We won the championships of the nation, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. And then I went and Berkeley Rep came out and auditioned, and I went and did the monologue from Oberon, and I got the apprenticeship. And then I went to school at the Drama Studio of London, and then I came back and started to be a professional actor until I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't like the theater as much as I wanted to because it was regional, and so I quit and tried to become a businessman and failed magnificently in that one. But I failed so well that I decided I'll never do that again. And by good happenstance, a guy calls me and goes, hey, Charles, want to audition for a corporate video? I said, what's a corporate video? It's a video that's corporate. What do I have to do? You have to act. Okay. And I went and I auditioned for this, and I made more money doing that than I did in a week in the theater. I said, I'm a corporate video actor. Did hundreds of those. And then one day, I'm standing there doing the American Gothic painting with the guy with the pitchfork. I'm standing there doing this. And of course, they light it for 9 hours. And you're sitting there sweating and exhausted. You're getting makeup over and over. And my makeup was about 9 inches thick by the time we finished shooting this thing. And the producer goes, hey, do you do voiceover? I said, sure. And I don't think I knew what a voiceover actor was. I thought Fred Flintstone was real. I thought, when you watch the Jetsons, they're little people that are flying around, And so I said, sure. And he goes, well, here's the script. And I said, Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price, right now. Great, here's another $250. I'm a voice actor. And I ended up doing 1,000 commercials. So it's no surprise as I try to convince everybody, choose your destiny, pick wisely. Well, I'm at the beach one day doing things that actors do, like reading a book and waiting for the sun to set and having a cup of coffee on the beach. And my pager goes off, and it's a friend. He said, hey, you got to go crash this audition. It's for a show in Las Vegas. And I said, there is no way I would ever crash an audition. I am a professional actor. Where should I go? And I got off the beach, and I went to this audition. I was walking in as the cameraman was walking out. I see the Sony bag with the producer. I said, hi, can I read for this? And I mean, it was like literally that moment of like, he's this far from cocktail hour. It's like the bar is literally next door. He looks at me, looks at his watch, looks at the cocktail bar, looks at the watch, looks at me, looks at the cocktail, goes, oh, all right, come inside. We'll set the camera back up. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, okay, named Mario, and it's for this company called Nintendo, neither of which I had ever heard of before. And I'm sitting there going, This is like the voiceover thing, right? And he goes, so it's going to be a real-time animation system. You'll have these contacts glued to your face, and when you move your mouth, that will make the character move, and you'll have a hidden camera, hidden microphone. So we have no idea if this is going to work or not, but if it doesn't work, I'm not going to pay you to sit around all day and drink coffee. So just make up a voice, make up a video game, start talking, and when you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And I thought to myself, Italian plumber from Brooklyn. Get out of my face. I'm working here. Go on. Or, what do you want from me? I'm under the sink. And I thought, well, that wouldn't be fun to do for 8 hours a day nonstop. But I had played Gremio in Taming the Shrew. Nice Italian guy. Talk like it. I thought, oh, I'll do that, but I'll make him young and happy, and I'll just make up a video game. I know nothing about video games, but waka, 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 waka. So I thought, and you know those games that I never did well at. Ever. Well, so I thought, well, I could do something. I could make up something about food. And while I'm thinking about what kind of food, I all of a sudden I hear action. I said, hello, I'm a Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I get some spaghetti. We put spaghetti and the sausage in the pizza. And then I chase you the pizza. And if I catch you the pizza, you got to eat the pizza. And then you're going to make a pizza. Because he didn't say cut. And I'm like, he said one thing, don't stop till you run out of things to say. So I went through every Italian dish I've ever heard of. I went through every pasta dish I've ever heard of. And then I started making up, and I'll chase you with a lasagna pan. I got you a lasagna pan, you're gonna make a tortellini. You chase me with tortellini, I'm gonna eat that tortellini. And I just kept going, and I started making up, and then we're gonna make a mastrotello. This is a great pasta, I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. And I started making these pastas up until I finally heard, stop talking. Cut. There's no more tape. Thank you. We'll be in touch. Which to me meant, there's the door. Get out of here. And so I went back to the beach. And I went da 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 da. It was like really fun. And I go, and he gets on the phone. He calls Nintendo. He says, "I found our Mario. I got him." And he only sent my tape. And somehow, then Mr. Miyamoto heard it. Said, "Oh, I like that. Go, yeah." And it was a one-off job. But I had so much fun doing it that I talked them into doing it again, and then again and again. And after a certain number of years of wearing out my welcome there, I got a phone call. Mr. Miyamoto would like you to play Mario in a video game. I'm like, yippee! And that was it. That was the beginning. And that's 30 years ago. So take my life advice. I'm terrible at giving advice because I really don't know what I'm doing in the world. But I know one thing. Be happy. Focus on your happiness, your joy, what gives you. Focus on the love and the joy because when you're happy, you bring happy to people. And I wish for everybody, because I'm the luckiest guy in the world, I get to do what I love to do in life. I'm having so much fun doing these characters. And I get to hear the impact of it. And everybody has so much more impact in the world than we're ever led to believe. That pebble that touches the middle of the still pond and the ripples go beyond the shore, way past what you can see. It's really true, because I hear these wonderful things like, you're the voice of my childhood. And I'm always very heart-touched by that, because I'm just a guy doing what I love to do. And if it touches you, the fact that I'm having so much fun, then it must be a good thing to have fun. That's how, I'm a very simple, I'm a golden retriever person. If you know dogs, golden retrievers are kind of like, they just sit there and waggle. We had a golden retriever, he's the sweetest dog in the world. He would go to the apple tree, because he loved apples. And in the middle of the winter, he'd go to the apple tree and he'd sit there looking at it, and his tail would just be waggling like crazy, because he knew someday those apples would be back on that tree and he'd be eating those apples. So that's my philosophy in life. Wag your tail a lot.
Okay, we got to pause for applause on that one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's really true. And so my wish for everybody is for you. I wish nothing more than your happiness, your joy, your fun. And of course, the process of that is to become your own best friend. Because if you're an actor, you know very well that you have that negative critical voice that sits there. You're too stupid. You're not good enough. You should have done this pitch and that pitch. And you got to learn to shut that voice up and treat yourself like you treat your own best friend, the person you love more than anyone in the world. And it's going to be hard, because that negative voice loves to dominate and loves to rule your life. And it's something we all get so used to, is that negative dialogue. But the truth is, if anybody talked to you the way you talk to yourself, you'd say, get out of here, you. And you wouldn't tolerate it. So don't tolerate it from yourself. Give yourself the love that you deserve, because I guarantee you one thing for sure. You deserve all the love in the world, all the happiness in the world. And that's what my wish is for each and every one of you. Thank you. Yeah.
And I think I go back to what I said earlier, is that you have this incredible happiness. You have this joy. Where does it come from? How do you channel such joy into your characters?
Well, I'm going to tell you that. Thank you for asking that. I'm just a guy
Gravity.
like everybody else. You know, I go through the same ups and downs and nerves, and, you know, I go to the doctor and I start sweating, you know. I mean, you know, I'm just like everybody else. So, you know, in a way, what I say, you can take it with a grain of salt, but it's also really true. I'm happy because I'm doing what I love to do. I'm living my dream. My personal dream was to be able to travel the world, to have love in my life, to be happy, to wake up with gratitude, which I need to do more of. I'm always realizing that I need more gratitude, because I think that gratitude, it generates more things to be grateful for, you know, and I have so much to be grateful for. So I think maybe that's the source of my happiness. I was always a happy child. And then adolescence happened, you know, and the self-hatred of adolescence and young adulthood, straggling, struggle, you know, but life gets better. As you love yourself, just life gets better. It just does.
Have you considered writing a book? Because I could certainly see that being distilled into like a pocket guide of wisdom that people could take with them everywhere.
One day, I hope I really manage to do it. Unfortunately, I'm the type of person that will sit down and go, I'll write like 20 pages of the book one day and go, yes, this is great. Tomorrow morning, oh, look, a butterfly. You know, and then I'm gone for 9 months. And then I sit down and go, oh, wait, I'm going to write a book. And then I write the same thing I wrote the first 20 pages. I went, oh, look, a butterfly. You know, and I'm off the next direction. But I will try. I will try. I said this for the first time 20 years ago. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you gotta love
Gosh.
that.
Well, so, if you think that's funny.
So could you tell us about perhaps the reaction that you get from fans wherever you go? Because you can see that there are people here just eager to see you, and you have this following. What's the first thing a fan says to you?
So
Typically.
often they say things like, you're the voice of my childhood, or I grew up playing your games. And that's just, I'm so touched by that, because of course, you know, I'm the actor that puts a little bit of icing on the top of the cake. There are people growing growing the wheat and cutting it down and farming it, you know, doing, the process of making a video game is years long, and people working over, you know, 7 days a week till the last train comes, you know, every day, and the first train and back at work in the next morning. And I come in and I go, hop, hop, woohoo, yippee, wee, you know, and I get recognition for that. So I'm so grateful for that. But, you know, I forgot what you asked me.
We were talking about fan questions.
Oh, fan questions. Yeah, so just to hear that sort of thing, that, you know, I've had an impact on their life by my having fun and being silly is just great. I had a friend who passed away. He was a waiter in a restaurant. And he used to get on the phone and laugh hysterically. He'd say, okay, tell me what you say. And I say, woohoo! And he would just crack up. He couldn't speak. He was laughing so hard because he worked for a living, you know?
Right.
He was there 9 hours a day slinging hash, you know? And he just thought it was so funny, the absurdity of life. But life is pretty absurd, isn't it?
It can be. It can be. And I think following up on fan questions, I think this is the point
sure.
where we are going to ask the fans to share some questions with us.
Yes.
And we have some microphones set up on that side. So if you could raise your hand.
Oh, sure. And I've just, you know,
If
one
there is
thing.
one. There's one right there. Oh, look. And he came well-dressed for the occasion.
Oh, look at you. Hello there. Yippee! Oh, that's terrific.
Can you hear me?
Oh. And now he's going to take it off. Ah.
Hello? Yeah?
We got you.
Okay, so I'm just curious, like, out of pretty much your whole career and like all the other games that came out around like Mario and stuff like that, what is the another character that you would most want to have like voiced, or what kind of character would you want to like add personality to?
You know, thank you for that question, and thank you for addressing that. The Mario outfit is just fantastic. I love the starfish too. Bravo. You know, and Sunshine was one of my favorite games of all time, by the way. That was just, oh my goodness, what a great game. I am so complete. I get to do what I absolutely love to do. I appreciate the question, but I'm just absolutely joyful and complete. There's no character I can say, ooh, I wish I played that character. Ooh, I wish I played that character. I'm so happy. I absolutely love Mario. I love Luigi. And it's funny because someone said to me recently, said, because I aspire to be more like Mario all the time, have constant optimism and joy and, face adversity with a, let's go, woohoo, but I am much more Luigi. Fear and trepidation are my neighbors and my friends because they live right here. And, when there's something new, I get anxiety. When there's something, it's just I'm a very anxious person. It's genetic in my family. But I think this guy said, because I'm always fearful and I have to find my courage. And I think that's very much Luigi. Plus, I had to be taller and run faster than my brother for obvious reasons. He was the older brother. So, I think he said, I think everybody's more Luigi and we all aspire to be more Mario. And I thought, that's very touching because, we're all such incredible human beings. And one of the things I love the most about the characters that I get to do is that I identify so fully with them. And for anybody that wants to be an actor that's here, all acting is being. You're the dog chasing the ball on the beach, and that's all you can think about when you're acting. You spend your time educating and learning everything about, why might somebody with beady eyes have little beady eyes or a big jaw or something like that. But when you get to the studio or you get to the movie set, you throw all the training out the window and you're just there in the moment. And for a cartoon character, like an opera singer, it's very big. And for a film actor, it's very small. It's just feeling the emotion is enough. You don't have to do anything. But it all is grounded in that same position of just truth. And the truth of these characters, to me, the happiness, the joy, the fun, the silliness. And I've always made the choices of when I play a villain, it's, particularly these, Wario and Waluigi, that the comedy always falls back on them. And this came directly because when I was in my first acting class, there was a guy with a very big stutter. And I asked him if he had always had that stutter. And he said, no. On his 21st birthday, we were all in a junior college, on his 21st birthday, he went to a show in Las Vegas, and this was particularly a Serbic comedian, and he said, I'm having dinner, we're on this luxury booth, all of a sudden the lights go on, dessert's coming, and says, hey, it's somebody's 21st birthday, stand up. And I said, I stood up, and he goes, oh, look at that fat, ugly kid. Oh, my God, that pimply-faced kid, I'll bet his mother's sorry he had him. And he said every time he said an insult, the audience laughed bigger, and I felt smaller and smaller. I was so embarrassed, wow. And I knew he wasn't being mean to me, but at the same time, it hurt. And I said, I woke up the next morning with a stutter, and I've had it ever since. And wow. I believe in life moments, and that was one that told me, never be hurtful in comedy. You can do it, it's funny, but I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to be hurtful. And you can create from the position of pain, the dark lady of the sonnet, where there's, the unrequited love, the Rodin, the Picasso, the burning anger that's inside there that makes you create the yearning. Or you can create because you love life and you're happy, and the characters that you play you want to love, and you want them to be loved, and so Wario's angry, but it always falls back on him. Waluigi's full of self-pity, a very toxic personal energy, because it gives you the entitlement to be mean and rotten to other people. That's what it does, and that's why you feel it. So you can be mean, like being a martyr. It's like, oh boy, nobody loves me good enough, so I can punish everybody for doing it. But if you play the parody of that, is what I do. And so I've had that beautiful luxury of playing exactly the characters that I think I was destined to play.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's just
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I think we've got a question over here.
Oh, yes, thank you. Anybody want to ask me anything, but obviously I can't answer any questions about future projects or the movie or things like that. I'm just, I don't even tell myself these things because I'm such a blabbermouth. So feel free to ask me anything except.
Oh, no, apparently it's a... It's one of those questions. All right, then. Thank you for
Oh,
your
was it
honesty.
about? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I cut you off before.
There's one at the back there.
One in the back there. Another Mario hat.
There you
Yay. And thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm sorry about wearing the masks and the vaccines and everything, but I'm so happy to see you. So happy to see people out and about. It's wonderful.
Hello.
Yay. Yay us.
Like I said, 19 months in the waiting.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a big
Hi.
fan, first of all,
Thank
and this
you.
is a true honor to be here.
you.
That's lovely.
Thank you for being at FanExpo this year.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure.
And what goals have you had for your life ever since you started voicing Mario and that cast of characters?
What goals have I had? That's a beautiful question. Thank you very much. William Shatner is a man that I admire so much. If you ever listen to him talk, he has a million projects that he's doing. He's writing a book. He's writing a play. He's writing a movie. He's performing in audio. He's doing songs. He's doing jazz work. He's flying a rocket into outer space. And I sit there in the morning, I do my crossword and my little word play, and I go, oh boy, what are we going to eat today? I'm not a man of great ambitions. My dad was a hunter, fisher, gatherer. That drove him, and my drive is to be happy, and I love to travel. I love to see the world, eat food. I'm just desperate to go to Italy, and to Alba and try white truffles. And so I'm sorry to sound, I put these lofty things out there, and it turns out I'm seemingly a very trivial person. But my goal is happiness. My goal is joy. My goal is for people to be more like Canadians in America. More kind, more polite, and to thank you. And honestly, I really mean it, to model good character, to model someone, to give the world the vision that if I could make a map, it would be to make a map to tell everybody that you deserve joy and happiness and fun and love. Because I think we're the biggest block. Every stress of my life is caused by one person. And I can pretend it's something else and but you can't control what happens to you in life. But you have this beautiful power of choice to decide how you respond to it. And I recognize I have never had real adversity in my life. So it's easy for me to say it, and I don't mean to be trite in any way or to trivialize anything that people go through. But I think if I've learned one thing, as human beings, we all are the same, regardless of skin color, sex, sexuality, race, religion. We're all the same. We all are the same. And for me, to completely understand that in myself, that's what I really aspire to, is to be the man. To be that man.
Wow. I feel enriched just sitting here and listening to this.
Thank you.
That is just absolutely beautiful, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
I think we've got a question right over there.
Yes.
I think the
We'll
microphone's
come
coming.
over with a microphone. It'll be right there.
No, it looks like somebody's got the microphone over there. So actually,
yeah,
that's a good idea. Why don't you just move
Oh,
over
is it put
there?
up over there?
The speaker was in my way. I couldn't see.
Oh,
Yeah, I would just like
Oh.
to say it's great to be here, and thank you for being here yourself, sir. It's an honor to even just ask you this question.
thanks. You look like a speaker.
Yeah, well, I try my best. I try
Hi.
to keep an open mind. Anyway, my question is for you. If you had to get rid of anyone in the Mario world, who would it be and why?
I wouldn't change a thing. I am so in love with the Mario world. People also ask me, do you play Mario games? And I say, yes, I do. And then they say, how well do you play? And I say, well enough to discover that the princess is not in this castle. That's how well. I wouldn't get rid of anything. You know, I'm so lucky because I'm just a voice actor. I'm the dog chasing the ball on the beach. Somebody drives me to the beach, somebody makes the ball, and somebody gives me a leash and feeds me every day. And so I'm like, yippee, waggle, 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 waggle. You know, it's just so great. That's what I do. So I wouldn't change a thing. Thank you, though, for asking. Thank you.
I think we have another one right there.
Would you please move the microphone? Oh, there you are, right there. I said, nice, you did. Thank you.
Yes, big fan, and
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to the new Mario Party game next week, first of all.
Oh, yes, me too. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Second, how much longer do you think you see yourself doing Mario's voice?
Yes, thank you for that question. Until I drop. You know,
Perfect.
you know, I love these characters, but when I can't do them well enough, then I'll be the first one to call up my friends inside of Nintendo and say, you know something, I didn't sound right on that one. We need to find somebody. I'll be the first one because to me, I love these characters and I demand, and I think it's a beautiful piece of it. For 35 years, these characters have existed, and it's the integrity and the value system of, and the passion and the joy of creating that fun that has made this through line all the way through to now. And hopefully 20 more years, if not 5, 2, whatever it is, it's a great gift. But I will know when I don't sound right. Although there are people listening with bat ears to every sound I make, so I have to be very careful. You know, the quality has to be there. You can never turn on that game. I would never allow myself to be in a game where I wasn't the best I could be. So that's until I'm not the best I can be, or until the best I can be isn't good enough. Thank you.
I think we've got a question.
Oh, yes, hi.
There we go.
Thank you for running around with the microphone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm with the game career, I'm with the press. I want to ask you a question, kind of a follow-up to the other questions that you had. You mentioned a second ago about, if someday you think you would need to find someone else to replace you, but I want to ask you that even though you said that you're not a man of great ambition, like, do you understand that you built a whole legacy and that at the end of the day, you are Mario? Like, there is no Mario other than you.
Thank you
and once
so much.
you're gone, will there be another Mario? I don't think so.
You're so kind. Thank you very much. I really hope that there is, because I love the games, and they mean so much to people. And so for me, that honor and that joy, I hope continues with whoever does come along after I am no longer able to, because I don't want there to be a hole in people's lives. I mean, mind you, I think we've recorded at least 5 million sound files because I'm the type of actor, you know, the rule is this: 1 take of 3, then we'll listen to it and see what you think, you know. So I will do 45 takes in that 1 take of 3 and try every single, exactly as it's written, and then with an ooh, ah, ee, ah, ooh, every single variation I can possibly find. So there's enough sound files for at least another 500 years.
You're never going anywhere.
I'm never going, yeah, that's right, I'm here. Thank you for that, though. That's very kind. Thank you.
And I think we had one on this side.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm a really big fan, but why is Super Mario Sunshine one of your favorite games?
Oh, because I was so bad at it, you know? You know, when the crane swings around and you've got to start thinking backwards? I was totally, I was like, wah! That's how I spent that game. You know, I loved it because the flood pack was really fun. I loved the message of cleaning up the island. I thought it was adorable that it was like, you know, the little villain was there and that Mario was, you know, it's just such a fun play. And, you know, that also gave me an open door when a guy in Australia called me up and said, we'd like you to come down under and do some press for us on that Mario Sunshine. And I'm like, really? Me? I said, sure. And I got to fly to Australia and started doing media. And I've done thousands of interviews, which I love. And it all launched from, even though it was Mario 64 that started that stuff, it was Mario Sunshine that all of a sudden it's like, oh, we want you, the actor, you know? And that was like a huge step for me in life. And I will tell you one thing. it was Mario Teaches Typing that taught me the most. Because, I chose this voice of Gremio, oh, hello, Dad, how are you? Whoopee, let's go, yahoo. But when, improving for 5 years was one thing. But when I did Mario Teaches Typing in 92, I think it was, I'd been improvising for a year with it. And the words, when I went in to record it, were like, oh, you failed. That didn't work. That was no good. And I said, can I just change the words a little bit, because I've sort of made this character in my world where he doesn't say no, he doesn't say that's bad, he doesn't say you failed, So can I just change it a little bit? And he goes, sure, go ahead. And thank goodness, because I went, that was great, and I know you can do even better. Let's try again, And so it was always positive reinforcement, always encouraging, and that stuck it deep into my heart and brain that this character is kindness and is joy and is love and respects everybody, and particularly children. And so that's what I did. And that's been that way ever since. Thank you. Thanks to that producer.
And, there we go. We have a question
Hey,
over there.
Charles,
Sorry.
how you doing?
Great, hi.
Good. How are you doing? I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, are you also in the camp of people that believe, like myself, that Waluigi is underrepresented in video games, and we need more Waluigi? What do you think the next steps are for Waluigi?
Well, personally speaking, I love Waluigi. And I know he's going to have his day in the sun. I really do. I know he's going to have his day in the sun because he's such an adorably fun character and people really love him. So I'm in the camp that says, yippee, but I'm just a voice actor. When they call me up and they say, come up and play in our sandbox, I'm like, okie dokie, wahoo! And I go up there and I play in the sandbox. So I understand your passion, your drive. I hope he gets his own game and you have to cheat to win. That's what... That's what I hope. Thank you.
And I think we had one right in the front here.
Hi.
Hi. First of all, I want to say thank you for making the childhood of my parents, myself, and even my little sisters who love playing on my
Thank
Switch
you.
and stealing my dad's Game Boy to this day.
Wow, great.
I just wanted to ask, do you have any tips for people that are aspiring to become voice actors or working specifically with video games?
Yes, I know nothing about this at all, but because, like I say, I just fumbled into everything. I just felt, accidentally fell into everything in my life. But D. Bradley Baker has a website. And, he's a terrific actor. If you hear a beetle noise or a bug noise or a flying saucer noise in a video game, that's D. That's him. He just does the most amazing things. But he has a webpage, iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, that he has worked on for a decade, that filling it with information on character development, character through line, arc of character, the business of acting, the microphone techniques, how to audition, how to get a job, how to, perform in the job. And I think the world of that sort of thing. I just fell into it, so I don't really know. But he's a real expert. And I think, just remember what you want to be, avoiceactor.com, and there it is. Yeah, try that.
And I think we have a question over here.
Oh, yes, hi.
Okay, well, I did have a question about the movie, but since we're not allowed to talk about that, I'll make it more general. Do you have any funny interactions with other voice actors?
I love voice actors, and I miss voice actors, it used to be back in the good old days, your agent called you on a phone, your home phone, and you said hello, and you had an answering machine. Hi, this is Charles Martinet. I'm not home right now. Leave it. And then you called them back. You said, I got an audition for you tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the office. So you go in at 10 o'clock in the office, and you hang out with voice actors all morning long, waiting to go in and do it. And then you go and you read this thing. You're as silly and ridiculous as you can be doing it. And then you go out and hang out and have a cup of coffee, and then go to lunch together, and then have cocktails together. And then I'll see you tomorrow. I got another audition. Yay. And that's gone. So I only meet actors in venues like this now, only voice actors in venues like this. And, I just, funny stories of them. I don't have funny stories of voice actors. Back in the theater days, I remember there were so many ridiculous things that people used to say, because theater actors are wacky to begin with. But voiceover actors, you go in there, you do your job, bang it out, and that's it. And nowadays, I don't even see them in the studio. You know, I go and do my recording, I leave, or I do them my company is called Under the Covers Production. It's not really a company, but I just put the bed covers over my pillows, put my head under it, and then talk into my microphone, you know. And it's amazing. Speaking of that technology for voice actors, you know, I put on an iPhone now, I attach it to an Apogee 900 microphone, thanks to Steve Bloom, and I record like that, and I can do national commercials and web pages, anything, right on an iPhone for the $200 microphone. I used to carry the computer, sound digitizer, amp, preamp, Sennheiser 416. Now it's just like, you know, put the phone in, plug it in, hello, you know. So there's technology is great. I do have funny, I was in Australia one time, and we were autographing as quickly as possible because we had to get to an airport. And these 5 Australian guys come in. I tell this story all the time, but you know, I said, what do you have to sign? What do you have to sign? Can you sign our foreheads? And I'm like, what? Can you sign our foreheads? Yeah, sure. And I literally autographed their foreheads because I didn't know what to say. So I did. I don't autograph babies, though. I draw a line. I'm a professional.
Got to draw the line somewhere.
But I've autographed people's tattoos, which I think is adorable. And I come back and I see them next to them. Whoa, there's my signature on your tattoo, which probably annoys the tattoo artist, right? Wait a minute. I'm doing this and you're giving him credit? But there it is.
I think there was a question right here.
Hi. This is so crazy that I'm like in the same room as you. This is awesome. And
thank you.
My family and I love trying to impersonate the voice that you do when you fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were just wondering, my 3 younger brothers couldn't be here, and we were wondering if you could say hi to the Addams family for us. That would be so awesome.
Hello, Super Addams family. It's me, Mario. You're number 1. Woohoo! Cheers.
And I think we've got time for one last question.
One last question.
Hi. I've been playing like all your games for so long. And
Thank you.
I've always wondered, out of the 4 Mario characters, Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi, which one's your favorite to do?
I love Mario because it just, you know, it's just the joy, the happiness. I mentioned sometimes that I dream as Mario, sometimes flying, you know, and swimming underwater, but particularly the swooping, flying around over lakes at night in the starlight. I just love that character. I love the ideal of optimism and joy and love. Love for everyone, love for everything. You know, that's the person I aspire to be. So that one is the one I love to do. But I love Luigi's sense of humor because I think he's hilarious. Mario? Mario, hello. I just think he's adorable. So, is that it? Really? Thank you all very much. It is such an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
And I was going to ask everybody to say thank you, but it looks like they went one step ahead of me. Let's just keep that going,
Yay.
please.
And I try to post things on Instagram. That's Charles Martinet, it's a me. And I try to do things on Facebook too. Not Facebook, Twitter, you know, Charles Martinet. But Charles Martinet, it's a me. I'll try to keep posting. And thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart. You're number 1.
Thank you, Charles Martinet.
Thank you.